Hey, welcome to Killer Bees Tech Channel. This is the first and hopefully a very long series of videos that we're going to be compiling over the next few years. A little bit about Killer Bee Tech. It's me primarily and my two sons. I'm Brian. Sons are Brendan and Blake, thus the Killer Bees. My wife will probably be in it from time to time, Erica, maybe some others as we engage different topics. But today we're going to do a quick little video focused around virtual reality and gaming PCs, just because that's our most recent experience with tech. As we get into some of these videos, there'll probably be some other topics that will come in, things like hiking and photography, pets. You'll for sure see my wife Erica in some of those videos. Small DIY projects around the house. I am not a handyman by any means. But I can do small DIY projects. Anything beyond that, I've got to find the experts. And maybe just general discussion around things like gaming and smart homes and some of that stuff. So why are we doing this channel? Well, we love tech. We love talking about tech. The boys are really into it. I'm into it. The wife not so much, like I said. But we found that there's a lot of information out there. And we've been doing our research on things before we buy, just like I'm sure everybody does. So we thought just maybe having another channel, another video out there with different reviews and hands-on experiences might be helpful to somebody else. Our goal is obviously to get a lot of subscribers, understand what people want to see. But until then, we'll just start sharing some videos that we've done, stuff around the house, and as we buy new tech, birthdays, holidays, Christmas, whatever the case is. In this first video, we're going to talk a little bit about VR and gaming PCs. The family first got the taste of VR as we got the Samsung Note 8 a couple of years ago, and free with it came the Gear VR, a very capable little unit, but obviously powered by the phone. So this year, the boys started reading up and hearing a little bit about the Oculus Quest. And as I did some reviews on that, it seemed like a good foray into VR because it was standalone. And also my boys didn't have gaming PCs. They love to game, but it's on consoles, Xbox and PS4 or whatnot. So the Oculus Quest seemed like the perfect venture into VR. We purchased the Oculus Quest several months ago, and what a great little unit. We'll do a little video on that in the future here, probably the next video or two. But as the boys started playing with it, they realized, and I realized, that the gaming library was a little bit limited. It's a new platform, so there are games coming out daily and weekly for this thing, but some of the big games are not on this platform just because it doesn't have the pure processing power and video capability as some of the other tethered units like the Rift S and others. So as the boys started doing a little bit more of their research, they found out some games on other platforms like the PC and SteamVR. They got really intrigued by some of those titles and watching some of their favorite YouTubers like Dan TDM and others. I remember a video that they were watching on Dan TDM about Richie's Plank. Pretty funny video if you ever go get it, get a chance to watch it. Dan TDM is a funny dude. I even enjoy watching him. But it is a virtual reality game about walking a plank, obviously at high heights and doing just crazy things. So they started taking a look at that and thinking, is that something that we can do? Can we play games like Gorn or Quiver and other things? But on the Oculus Quest, you couldn't do that because it's a standalone and the library has to be specific to the Oculus Quest. So I promised Brendan that I'd do a little bit of research about how we could get some of those games on the Oculus Quest. There was all kinds of things from ALVR to virtual desktop, and we are going to do an in-depth review probably in the next video or two about how we did set that up to get it to play some of these games wirelessly to the Oculus Quest. But this video is going to be strictly focused at a high level about the gaming PC. I figured we had just spent $400 on the Oculus Quest. Again, very capable little platform, awesome games, graphics, sound built into it. But I figured it had to be able to do a little bit more than what I was doing. And as I searched around, I actually found out that there are ways to do more on that platform, on this little mighty platform. I mentioned ALVR and virtual desktop, and a little spoiler alert, you're going to find that virtual desktop is the tool of choice. And using virtual desktop, we were able to do a lot more with the Oculus Quest. So let's get to the meat of the video. As I started doing the research, I knew I needed a PC to be able to run these games and run them well. I have a powerful PC. It's an all-in-one PC I use for work. It's a HP 34-inch, and I'll show you a little bit of the graphic here in just a moment. Powerful processor, a lot of memory. Probably the graphics aren't so great. I figured I'd start off with that. So as I did the research on some of these products that can support the streaming of VR games to the Oculus Quest, I started with ALVR. And ALVR sounds like it's a really capable little tool, neat tool, and a lot of people swore by it. I've got some technical background, but I found it challenging to be able to put in and be able to install on the Quest. So I actually went with a product called Virtual Desktop. And we're going to talk a little bit about, again, Virtual Desktop in an upcoming video, but my experience with Virtual Desktop is what a clean, fantastic little program. Yes, it does cost money in the library, but you get what you pay for in Virtual Desktop. Virtual Desktop allows you to stream your desktop straight to the Oculus Quest. It's pretty cool being able to interact with your machine over the Oculus Quest and some of the hand controllers. I think I watched some videos on Plex right away, checked some emails. I don't know how long it would be, how good it would be for actually doing extended work on a PC, but it was pretty cool. But I quickly also realized through the research that Virtual Desktop, while it supported SteamVR out of the box, there's a little something going on. I have no idea what it is. Steam says they are no longer able to support the SteamVR in the platform or in the package that they sell on Steam. So what you end up doing is you buy the Virtual Desktop from the Steam library, and then once you've got the license, you're able to sideload in the version of Virtual Desktop that supports SteamVR. I'm sure there's a whole lot of licensing garbage that's going on between different headset makers, the game licensees, all of that stuff that they want. Hey, and with me is part of the Killer Bees Tech team, my 10-year-old son Brendan.
Hi, my name is Brendan. I'm part of the Killer Bees Tech, and I will be giving new tech a review from a kid's angle.
Hey, there's a lot of kids out there that want to be able to see what's going on. What are some of the things that you're going to be talking about first in this video?
The CyberPower gaming PC.
And why did we have to get that?
So I could play SteamVR games on my Oculus Quest.
And why did you want to play SteamVR games? Wasn't there enough games on the Oculus Quest already?
Since the Oculus is new, there hasn't been too many games that are coming out. So I decided that if we had a SteamVR, we could play about many fun games.
Yeah. Alright. Who's your favorite YouTuber?
My favorite YouTuber is probably Dan TDM.
Says Dude Perfect on your shirt.
That doesn't matter.
Alright, so we're going to bring Brendan back a little bit later in this video to talk about some of the games that he's been playing on SteamVR, as well as actually seeing some of the gameplay as it's mirrored here on the CyberPower PC behind me. So until then, we'll see you in a little bit, Brendan. Alright, bud.
Okay.
Alright, Brendan, so tell me a little bit about how you found this PC and maybe some of the questions you asked. I think we went to Best Buy and got this.
So while at Best Buy, I noticed that the price was very low, and I asked the worker there about if it was good or not. He said it has a very good video card and memory. You need good memory.
So we'll call that price debatable. It's for sure not a high-end PC. It's not a 4K gaming PC where you might have multiple video cards chained together SLI fashion. But for sure it's a quality entry-level, probably mid-level PC. We've got a Radeon RX 580 with 8 gig on board, 16 gigabytes of memory, the system. Obviously, we've got the cool effects that the kids like. Do you like that? The lights
yes,
on there?
And you can change the lights by, in the back, there is a button.
Okay.
that you can switch lights.
Whoa, look at that.
Multiple different colors.
Okay. Alright. So I think you've played with this before, and it's gone through about 10 or 12 different colors that it can do. We'll also get the camera and we'll show you some of the connections here on this PC. But it is, I was pretty impressed. You know, I don't think that I could have done a DIY build any better than this or any cheaper than this. If I were to price out some of the parts at the time, it would have come to about $800. We purchased this PC for about $930. So $130 of time and potential aggravation was definitely worth it. So we'll get to that part here in a little bit in terms of its performance. But right now we'll take a little break and then we'll come back and talk about that. For this part of the video, we're going to talk a little bit up close about what the PC actually has on it from ports and the inside. I know you could see it a little bit during the earlier parts of our video. But what this has, and trust me, people, our lighting will get better. We'll figure this internet stuff out, this recording stuff, but just bear with us. So what we have is we've got our radio antennas. I believe it's 802.11 AC. It's not the new WiMAX stuff or any of that, I don't believe, but we're just running 5G. We actually have the Ethernet port. We've got two USB 2.0 ports where we currently have the mouse and the gaming mouse and the gaming keyboard that came with it. We'll show that here in just a minute. We've got a plethora of USB 3 ports. We've got 4 of those. We've also got an HDMI port, our standard audio ports. It does come very clearly labeled when you unbox this PC. Do not use the HDMI port that's on the onboard video. You'll use it down here on the Radeon card itself. And we've got a hefty power supply. You can look up the link that I provide in the video down below to get the actual specs. On the inside of the PC, I like it. It's a very neat, clean case. It's got a glass exterior. You can see the Radeon card here. Looks like liquid cooling inside of it. 3 really big ventilation fans. You can feel the air coming across the top of this. You can actually feel a lot of hot air being exhausted out the back. It looks like a nice sized heat sink on the processor as well as a ventilation fan there. Just real clean cable management. So just real happy with this PC overall. Like I said, you're spending a little bit more from a retail build than you would if you did it DIY. But the nice thing about this is you unbox it, it's ready to go. We had it up and running within 10-15 minutes, applying Windows account update and everything of that nature. And it comes with warranty. So we don't have to worry about it breaking or anything in the future. So just really nice little unit. And on top there's also, we can't see it, but on top of the PC, let me see if I can get a little bit higher here. You're not going to be able to see it in this video, but we do have 2 additional USB 3 ports as well as some audio ports up top. And then we have the power on off, and then what we've talked about already, Brendan playing a little bit with the lights. Every time you press this light button, you can get into different light patterns, just a lot of them. Static colors, rotating colors, whatever suits you that you want at that particular time. Just cycle through them to get what you want. Alright, real quick, we'll just show a little bit about what comes with the CyberPower PC out of the box. A nice little gaming mouse. It has some LED lights on it that can be customized to cycle through colors as well. Some programmable buttons on the side. We've got 4 on the side. We've got 2 on the top, as well as a pretty smooth scroll wheel. And then we also have the keyboard, the gaming keyboard, that has a lot of shortcuts built into it. Obviously the highlighted red buttons specific to gaming's WASD and the up, down, left, right arrows. And some configurable buttons that can be applied to it. You'll notice that it also lights up from USB. So again, real happy with this so far out of the box. You know, we're only a month into it, but we'll probably do a follow-up review, you know, maybe 6-9 months into it and see how this thing's holding up as new games come out. lastly, once you register this online with CyberPower PC, they'll send you a nice large gaming mouse pad for free. So just a little incentive to activate your warranty and let them send you some spam, I guess. But so far so good. We haven't gotten a lot of emails from them. We've gotten a couple of obviously offer emails, but sometimes those are nice. But a good sized gaming PC mat here. Why don't you back up a little, Bren? Okay. You can see the size of that compared to the 24-inch monitor that he's holding it up against. That's the 24-inch Asus monitor that we bought along with it. Thanks, Bren. Alright, what we're watching now is a little bit of Brendan playing Gorn on the VR headset. So you can see here the emulation of this on the PC is, it's got some really nice graphics. What Brendan will give some feedback to say on these is are the graphics really that nice on the headset itself, streaming over 5G. I don't let the kids play this one too much. Take a look at it. It's not exactly what I want a 10-year-old be playing, punching, blood splatter. Even though theoretically he's got this on zero blood, all that is there's just no blood left on the ground. It's a good workout. I've watched the kids play it. They obviously know, have to move around quite a bit and punch and box, and so in itself it's a decent workout, but it's not a great game for kids to be playing. So with that, we'll have him switch over to a game called Final Assault, and we'll be back in just a second. In this next game that he's playing, it's a game called Final Assault. So I challenged Brendan after seeing Gorn to find a game that actually could challenge himself in maybe thinking a little bit and not being obviously as gory. So Final Assault is really a strategy game, tower defense, as well as probably creating units and taking over your enemy on the map. It looks like it's based around maybe a World War II type time frame in terms of the planes and tanks and everything that can land place on the map. But I thought it was pretty cool. I've actually enjoyed just watching him play this on the computer, where he can select units and put them down and basically work their way and tell them what to do. From an attack perspective, he can drop planes, anti-aircraft, troops to defend his base. So really just a cool little game, and love seeing him play because obviously it makes him think creatively, strategically, and objectively. I think this is a game that really takes advantage of the VR. Pretty neat. Be able to give you a different perspective on some of these strategy or tower defense building games. So with that, we'll switch and we'll do one last game so that you can see a demo of an archery game called Quiver. See you in a minute. So in this game, it's called Quiver, and we just downloaded the demo of it just to see some of the capabilities of the SteamVR streaming to the Oculus Quest. And I thought it was a pretty neat game as well. It shows a lot of the different capabilities of VR, right? I mean, I played this and it actually feels like you're grabbing an arrow from behind you and pulling back and shooting it. So and the goal of the game is just to keep the enemy from breaking down the various levels of defense and doors that you have to your castle. Again, pretty cool game. It shows the capabilities of this streaming over virtual desktop. We are not using a tethered version of VR. We are using the Oculus Quest. So again, something that hopefully everyone gets to be able to see a little firsthand about what the experience looks like. And if you have any questions, just let us know. Alright, so you just got done playing a couple games, Gorn and Final Assault. Tell us a little bit about experience. Any glitch or lags in those games?
In Gorn, there was no glitching or lagging, but if you looked closely, I definitely would say that you could see some pixels. And for Final Assault, you can't see the pixels, but then there's a couple glitches that maybe if you put down too many artillery tanks, it'll start lagging the game. And it's a fun strategy game. So.
Any other games that you played on the VR?
I've played Quiver, which is an archery game. I would say it's very fun and no glitches. Like Gorn, you could see some pixels, but that's it really.
What's important to note is that this is streaming over 5G, so you better have a strong 5G wireless connection. Some of the pictures that I was showing you on the computer there is actually what was streaming to Brendan's headset when he was playing. And when he's seen his brother playing it and looked at the picture, he said it's definitely not that clear. So you are losing some quality as you stream that over 5G to your wireless network. Do not think about this if you do not have a 5G wireless network. Also, it's recommended by the maker of Virtual Desktop that you have a wired LAN connection so that you're not putting a lot of overhead on the 5G connection, both at the computer level and at the headset level. So, Brendan, what else do you want to talk about in headset? Is that good or anything else?
For the Virtual Desktop, which is the app that you can stream the SteamVR games to, there's not every SteamVR game is open to Virtual Desktop. I hope they'll release more games in the future, but because it's new, I don't expect them to have too many games out just yet.
Okay, well, we'll have to do a little research on that to find out why that headset's not showing up as supported for those games. Hey, thanks for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it. We know it was a little bit all over the place, but we'll get better as we go on, and we look for some quality feedback and what you guys would like to see. Thanks again, and more from Killer Bees soon.